But first, we want to talk about the first story that came through the wires, and we thought it was pretty interesting because we all have different opinions about it. 28-year-old Ryan Grant is flipping stuff. Not houses, but he is basically going to places like Walmart, buying stuff that's on the clearance rack, super cheap, like we all love to do. But then instead of keeping it for himself, he is making a profit and he's selling it. And he has turned a small business. He used to do the same thing in college. Let's see, at Winona State University, he organized textbook buyback events on campus twice a year. He listed the books on Amazon and then shipped them out to customers around the country for a profit of up to $10,000. So after college, he graduated, kept doing this and thought, you know what, I'm going to make this into a business and not just do buybacks for textbooks, but for actual items. And so now he has a ton of money because of this. I want to get the actual amount coming up as I continue to read through this here. But anyways, how do you guys feel about someone going and getting items that are on a clearance rack and then turning around and selling them and then making a profit off of it? I know it's not uncommon, but to me, I just feel like it's a little wrong. Like, shouldn't you be telling people, hey, this is where you can buy something for super cheap and helping someone out?
It's almost a win-win because the big retail giant like Walmart or Target or whoever is getting those items sold, they're getting it bought by this guy. And this guy is going around and turning it back to other people for a slightly more of a price. So he's still making money, but it's not going to be as expensive as what you're seeing online.
Okay.
So I think it's a win-win for both people. However, it's one of those weird things that's like, did you just re-gift my gift kind of thing? Yeah, it's one of those like weird situations that I'm like, I don't know if I agree with it, and I don't know it's even worth it. Like, you're buying all this different stuff on clearance that no one really wanted anyway, and you're buying it, you hope you can sell it. It's one of those, is it trash to treasure sort of situations? I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of times on clearance rack, I don't know how you feel about it. I love a clearance rack. I mean, I go to buy the stuff for myself because I want to be able to save a buck or two. But I haven't gotten to the point where, and I have a friend who does this, buys things on the clearance rack and then will turn around and put it on offer up for the original price. And I feel like it's a little dirty. Like, at least cut the price. Well, at least, it's a business.
Okay. This is, okay, so I read this thing a while ago. First of all, when I saw this story, I saw this story yesterday on Twitter or something like that, and I clicked on it. It's a really interesting story how this guy, it was his side hustle, and now he's making millions of dollars per year. He's got a crew, I think, of like 12 people in this warehouse and this whole thing. So it's kind of neat. He saw an opportunity that he could exploit. And but going back to what I was trying to say, I read this article that says, forget about what the price is supposed to be. The price is what you're willing to pay for it, period.
True. That's
so
true.
You just have to think about every single item that you're looking at, and is it worth it to you? So, for example, one of the big tricks is people love getting things on sale. They love getting a discount because they feel like they're getting something that they want anyway, and they're saving money. So there's this double whammy of you just can't resist, you've got to get this now. But then there's a lot of people hardwired that maybe they're not totally in love with it, but it's such a good deal,
that
you might
need to
be
get
stupid to walk away from 80% off. And a lot of big department stores have nailed this line of thinking, and they've done really, really well for themselves, and things are always on sale and they're always off. So you just have to get around that, you just have to think about if you really want that. If $9 for a box of Sharpies, you need those Sharpies, $9 is not too much, gets shipped to you, why not? Because then, you know, you have to have, in order to get the deal that he got, you have to be at his Walmart when it's on sale, when they need to make room for something else. So all of those things have to come together in your hometown in order to get that deal. And so if it's just a couple bucks more,
you're paying for the convenience, you're paying for his time, which I guess at the end of the day, that's what his business is. He'll go and do the shopping and find the great deals, him and his team of people, and then turn around and sell it. I know it's been done before. It's been done for hundreds of years. People, one of the guys, one of our producers was saying they used to do the same thing with baseball cards, right? You find out later that they're worth a certain amount, so you're going to go and throw it on eBay.
Different. That's like a collectible, and this is something that you definitely want and you want to keep like pristine. This is like daily object that this guy is selling, like chains. What else was he selling that I saw?
It's like an outlet store.
Yeah,
exactly.
just stuff that's on clearance.
Which I guess is smart from his perspective, of course. Yeah, since he started selling on Amazon, Grant says the business is on track to top $8 million in total sales by the end of this year.
I think we're in the wrong career.
Profits are heavily reinvested back into his company, but Grant was able to take a salary of around $150K. when he was working for the venture full time.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's actually really great.
As long as you're not doing all the boxing and shipping yourself, then it's
Which
worth
I think
it.
he
Which
is,
I think
though.
he is.
He's still part of it.
Says his business is increasingly run by the team. He's reduced his salary down to $60K a year and dedicates much of his time to getting that message out. He consults and he teaches e-commerce classes through the same blog he's been using to track his performance.
More side hustle.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
He
he wants
extra
people
work to do all that.
The one message I like that he is giving out, right, in terms of like at least helping people save money or at least save their time, he wants people to know that if you're not happy in your current job, if you're not happy with the money you're making, well, hustle, be an entrepreneur. This is the generation of people who want to start up their own businesses and not work for someone else. So in this case, he did that in the beginning of this conversation. I want to hate on it because I'm like, dang, if you get a clearance, like you shouldn't do exactly what the clearance was not meant to do, was to charge people, right? Like they brought that price down. People should be able to save money and to reap the benefits of that clearance item instead of putting it back up. I just think that's a little dirty, but I get it from a business perspective and as an entrepreneur.
Okay, talking about the dirty angle, let me go back and tell a quick story. So I was living in San Luis Obispo. I had a super old Nissan Pathfinder. It had like 250,000 miles on it. It was on its last legs. It was time to sell it. I sold it on Craigslist.
You did.
Then these guys showed up, and it was this long sob story. He's from LA, trying to get his life back, whatever. So I sold it for not what it was worth, for way less, because I was compelled by this story. We went on a test drive. There was a connection there. I was really happy because it was fair to me. I could have gotten more probably. Anyway, long story short.
That was a lie.
Long story short, I see my car with the local college, Request a College sticker on it. So obviously they had resold it to a college student within like a week. So basically, I got hustled, they flipped it, and I had that dirty feeling of, look, here's a deal, and then you go and resell it. So you're not just taking advantage of the deal for yourself.
Did you make any money? That's the question.
Well, the card had been paid off, but not as much as you could. But you're right. I was going back to the whole, well, I could have made this, but I sold it for this. I was fine with the price that I sold it for, and it was helpful to get my other used car, which I'm still driving. But anyway, 15 years later. But anyway, long story short, there is that sort of dirty feeling of someone got a deal and then flipped it on you. I don't like that.
How do you guys feel about this? People commenting?
People are definitely commenting. Okay, so Janet says, I think it's a smart business move. There are always risks in business. He took a chance and made it work. Good for him. Ashley says, I see no problem with it. This is a business model that's been used for ages. Reggie says, love the clearance rack. We all like the clearance rack.
Reggie.
Let's all be honest. We all like the clearance rack.
But I do get sold when it's like 80% off.
But how often do you use those items, though? Let's think about it. Like, say you saw something on the clearance
this is
rack.
mostly clothes.
Yes. And you're like, this is a great deal, 80% off. How many times have you used that scarf, that blouse, that pair of pants,
every
that dress?
purchase I can
But it is Megan,
defend.
though. She is a fashion savvy woman.
Well, and that's what I try to explain to Caesar, my husband Caesar. I'm always like, he's like, just because it says 80% off doesn't, it's still $150.
Right.
And I'm like,
it's not how much you saved, how much did you spend? Because that's the reality.
That's true. But again, the good business model is buy low, sell high. And that's what we learned in school, I think.
Yep.
And this guy's doing a good thing. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's his business, that's great.
Yeah,
he can
scaled his salary
if he teaches economics, he could walk in and say that and then walk out and have an early lunch.
That's
pretty much
that's
how
it.
it works.
It's the basis of it. Yeah. Okay. And let's say good morning to all of you. I do see all of the good mornings. Oh, my mom, Caroline Longoria Tellis is on. Hello, Mom.
Do you guys flip anything? Do you guys sell anything from your house for a little bit of side money?
I'm trying to think.
Anything on eBay? Anything on Craigslist?
I remember when Razor scooters were really big. Okay, this is back in, I want to say, the early 2000s or late 90s. And I remember
early 2000s,
my parents, I'm sure they're going to hate that I'm telling the story. My parents bought a bunch of Razor scooters because they were like on super discount. And they tried to resell them back, but not a lot of people wanted to buy it. Yet they weren't computer savvy, so they didn't really know how the internet worked. At the time. So they didn't, I don't know if they still have any. I'm sure if I go look in their garage, I bet you there's like at least 10 boxes of Razor scooters.
Oh, wow.
I bet you that it's there, but it's one of those things where you think you can make some money, but you have to be really proactive. You have to market it. You have to be able to sell it. And it's really hard when you just are like, well, it's a good deal, and now it's just sitting there.
Right.
Yeah, that's the risk, I guess, you're willing to take. I have, I've never been into that. I'm not a hustler when it comes to like selling things. I get attached to things really easy. Like I could get attached to this cup.
On Craigslist ever?
Never in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
so you
are you
had that
a
experience.
hoarder? That's the other question.
My mom, who's watching,
Mom,
will
tell
say
us.
yes. Okay, so my aunt, my Nina, my godmother, has a collection of these little porcelain shoes. And they're high heels, there's a platform, there's like an ice skate, there's a rollerblade. Like, she had this entire collection, and we're both obsessed with shoes. And so she was going to give them away, and I'm like, no, or she was going to sell them because they were worth money. And I'm like, no, save them for me, leave them in mom's garage, because my mom and dad live around the corner from my godparents. Leave them in the garage, and I'll get them one day. I would love to have a Christmas tree with little high heel ornaments, and like it would be my Nina's tree.
Oh, that's cute.
I just get, and so they've been sitting there for like over a year now. My mom's like, when are you, like, I'm going to sell them. Don't sell them. I get super attached, and my mom does too. My mom still has my math papers, like my homework, my projects that she has. We're both hoarders, I guess.
Okay.
So no, I haven't
You're not
sold.
a hoarder if you enjoy what you have.
I get attached.
Other people will call you that, but if you like your stuff,
Yeah.
it's your stuff.
Have you sold?
Oh yeah, I sell stuff all the time. But just
That
stuff
you
that I don't
buy?
use anymore. No, I don't do that. It's not like for business, just things that instead of throwing it away, I'll either give it to Goodwill, and then you can write that off on your taxes, or you can sell it for just a couple bucks, and if you're gonna throw it away anyway, you might as well give somebody a good deal. They're happy, you're happy, it all works out. I've literally sold tents, and people drive from Stockton after work, and I live in Sacramento, so an hour drive after work with the whole family. And they show up, and I show them the tent, and it was this whole like amazing thing. They're like, "This is great because we're going to our grandparents, and they have all this land. We wanted to camp, and the kids have never been camping." I'm like, "Please, just take the tent." I was selling it for like $10. Take the tent.
Yeah.
Have an experience. Really.
Look at this. So
I just love that. I think I do it more or
Passing
less
it along.
because I just need friends.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Rob loves to make a connection.